Welcome back, team. We are going to see another project. Okay, I'm going to open one more project for you. The project 02. Okay, so this particular project, importance of this particular project is app connecting to DB. Okay, app connecting to DB. That is the first thing. And one more thing, handling with DR, logging and monitoring enabled. So this is exactly the use case you need to think, or you can think in real time, team. Okay. In the previous project also, I think that is also the same. Mostly we covered most of the things. The same thing I will do here also. Okay. All right, team. So next, welcome to the project 2. So here we are going and discussing more on how exactly your application is connecting to the database, how you are handling your disaster recovery, how you are handling your logging and monitoring. Okay, these are all the things we'll explore here, team. Okay, we'll explore here. Now, firstly, what you need to understand. Firstly, let's draw the architecture. That is a very important thing. First, you need to plan it. That's where exactly I'm coming from. Okay. All right. So you know very well that. Okay. First, I'm just taking some inputs, especially from my manager. Okay. My manager asked me exactly, hey, DevOps engineer, can you please go there? Can you please go there and please deploy our application to the cloud environment? This is exactly the problem statement he has given to us. Okay. All right. Now, firstly, what exactly the manager informed you, it's not a containerized application. So you don't need to worry on the containers. It's still a virtualization part. So meaning that you will deploy package. That habit is still there. That's okay, fine. All right. Now, as a DevOps engineer, I myself as a DevOps engineer, team focus here. I think this project would be a bit fast compared with the previous one because you know the concepts, lot of concepts already. So that's why I'll be a bit fast here, team. Okay. But I'll drawing the architecture, drawing this particular diagram will be slow. But when we go for the discussions, we'll be a bit fast. Okay. Because you already listened one time. So this is second time on few concepts. Okay. Just keep the point in your mind. All right. Then what exactly DevOps engineer needs to do? What exactly the DevOps engineer need to think about? Okay. That's the thing exactly we are going to teach. We are going to see, team. Firstly, let's draw the architecture, team. I'm interested in drawing the architecture. Okay, just go there and take a separator. This is the normal and as usual thing usually we'll prefer always. So to just separate Azure portal and the Azure DevOps. So that's the main thing firstly here. So, and one more thing, team. Okay, and one more thing. Let's finish the DevOps model first. Okay, we know the DevOps model already. Okay, let me bring up the DevOps model whatever we have already so that I no need to draw it again. So it saves some time for us. Okay, it saves some time for us. So this exactly the thing which we already have. Yes, yeah, which we already have. I'm just taking up this particular thing, team. Okay, something happened. Just a moment. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Perfect. Okay, I'm just going here. I'm just using this particular. I'll just use this particular architecture as it is. All right, team. Okay. So in this particular part, I believe, so this is the one exactly we are going to see. So let me keep some size here. Okay. So that our visibility will be really good. Okay. All right. So fine, team. So firstly, what I want to discuss with you here. So when we are going further, firstly, I want to sort out few things here. Especially, you know very well that. So in this particular second project case, you know very well that. So firstly, I'm just taking the line separator between these two so that you will be very clear on what you are doing. Okay, on what you are doing, you will be very clear, team. Okay, that's the first thing. So that's a separator between portal and the DevOps. Okay, portal and the DevOps. That is the thing exactly we placed just now. Okay, all right, team. So now I want to highlight on few things specially. So this particular, I'm just giving a context very quickly for you, team. Okay. See, the developers will check in the code to the repository, and that particular repository code will pass it to the build pipeline will build it, and release pipeline will release it to the app server. That's a very common thing only. But what exactly the new thing you're experiencing here, team? You're experiencing one new thing, especially here, team. So that is connecting to the database, okay? So connecting to the database, team. This is what exactly you're experiencing here. See, if you see this particular sense, team, so that is what exactly the point you need to understand as well. So for example, this is an app service which is connected to this database, Correct, right? Yeah. So this is another app service which is connecting to the same database. Okay. So you should allow this particular thing. So how exactly? That's what exactly we will see. So this is what our database thing, our DB thing. So fine, team. So the DB being placed as a new here. Okay. DB database being placed as a new. So that is exactly the connection we are going to allow. That's the one new thing, and rest all are almost same. I don't see any kind of new things over there. So that I think our context also will be very easy. And also friend door is the one which will help as usual. You know that already in the previous part we already discussed. It's a global load balancer which can balance the traffic between the app services, and finally whatever the transactions are coming from the end user will be submitted to this particular DB. That and all the common thing. And also there is one more we just discussed, if you recall, team. So that is LAW, correct? LAW, log analytics workspace. So that is exactly the thing. I'm just keeping the LAW here. The LAW is the one exactly will help us. LAW is the one exactly will help us to just route the logs from your application or the portal components to a one centralized place where you can refer the logs very easily. So that's exactly the advantage of the case. Okay. Perfect, team. So once you are here, once you are here, okay. Yeah, once you are here, this is the ELK one. This is the LAW, log analytics workspace. So this part already you know, team. So that's perfectly alright. Okay, good. Okay. So these are the LAWs. LAWs, I'm just changing the color into a different one so that you will not be confused with this. Okay, you will not be confused with this. I'm just giving a different color for that. Okay, alright, team. Fine. So this is exactly the thing. So most of the companies are still using this kind of models only. So you just need to understand. But this time it will not take us too long time really to just implement this project too, so that I think we can easily do this particular case, team. Okay, just stay tuned. I think we'll go and we'll jump into this. And one change I'm doing here. So far we played with Postgres. First time I'm changing this one to the MySQL. Okay, it's a MySQL DB. So far we played with the Postgres, right? So I'm using the MySQL one exactly, which you can make use of this particular thing. Okay, all right. So that's it, team. Okay, now let's get into the context and we will implement this particular case. Okay, all right. First and foremost thing, let's write down the steps. Okay, let's write down the steps. If you write down the steps, things will be very easy for you. Okay, very easy for you to just implement them. Okay. First, what exactly you need to do as a DevOps engineer? Firstly, so you need to provision the components, team. Correct or not? Provision the components. Okay. Tell me, team, what are the components you want to provision? Come on, one by one, team. One by one. App service in both regions, correct? Correct or wrong? Tell me, team. Both regions, because you should handle DR. Oh, that's right, team. And database with what? Database with DR enabled. What is DR enabled? Geo replica enabled. Okay, geo replica. This part I discussed already with you. What is geo replica? So whatever, if you enable the backup as geo redundancy, your backup will sit in another region. I discussed it, right, team? You want me to go to the diagram? I think no one is responding. I don't know why. I'm just showing the diagram to you, okay, so that you will get an idea. So this is the DR feature. See geo replicated backup, team. This is what I'm talking about. This is your database. You are taking a backup in another region so that you can restore it easily. So that is what exactly I'm talking about. Okay. All right. So that is the another thing which you need to take care, team. So the next one. So DB with geo replica enabled is perfectly all right. Next one is friend door with okay. So friend door with standard and premium discussion. Okay, premium discussion, very important discussion, team. Premium discussion, that is one thing. An important point we forgot here, team. Important point. Let me tell you the important point, okay? I missed one thing. Very importantly, we are going to deploy all these components inside a virtual network. That part we missed out completely, team. Because we copied, I think we missed it, okay? So we are going to copy, we are going to keep everything. So whatever the component is there with you, right, team? Whatever the component is there with you, this particular component, we are going to keep inside a virtual network. Agree? You guys agree or not? So that is why we discussed this particular part, right, team? We discussed VNet and subnetting. Why? We need to see the use case, no? So that's the use case exactly we are experiencing now. I'm just keeping out there.
Yes.
Just go there, arrange to back. That's it. Okay. I'm just changing the color of this particular thing, team. Okay. Color of this particular thing, so that you will get an idea. It's a VNet. Okay. It's a VNet, team. Just keep that particular point. Okay. It's a VNet. VNet. Okay. Sorry, huh? This one we missed out, team. Okay. So this is the virtual network exactly we need to start off with. And by the way, you know very well that obviously VNet consisting of subnets, right? VNet consisting of subnets, that's a very common thing. So you know that this is a database, right? This is a database and these are the app services. Now tell me, team, to allow a business user to connect to the database, you need to have virtual machine, right? You tell me, team. VM is required or not? VM is required. Obviously, VM is required. So I'm just taking one of the VM here. Okay, VM is also required for you to deal this particular architecture, because you need to allow the business users. See, end-to-end project means end-to-end, team. Okay, don't think like just deployment and we will leave it. We will see in and out. Okay, we will see in and out, team. So this is what exactly the thing I'm just keeping here. Okay, so that's exactly the point. So now tell me, what are all the subnets you are planning to deploy? I'm planning to deploy one subnet with a database. That is one thing. I'll just change the color of that one so that you can understand, team. Okay. I'm just highlighting the DB subnets colors. Okay. Subnet colors. Okay. That's the only thing I'll do. Let me do one small thing, team. Just a second. Huh? Just a second. So I'm just keeping this one here. Arrange. Just a moment. Okay. I just want to highlight one small thing here. Especially whatever you are doing, right? Whatever the activity you are doing. Just a moment. Okay. Just a second. I just want to differentiate you the subnets, team. Okay. That is the only intention I have. Okay. Only intention I have. Let me try to differentiate something for you, so that I think you will understand it's a subnet. Okay. Just a second. I don't know whether this one really works out or not. Okay. You just mentioned some little dark over there. Okay, fine. So I'm just keeping this one here, and one more here. This one also I will give in green. Okay, so that you will get an idea clearly. So border, and followed by, I'm just taking the border color. Border color. Something little green. Okay, I'm just taking the green only. I'm increasing the size of this particular thing also, so that you will be very clear. See, the green highlighted borders are subnets. Just keep the point in your mind. Okay. And finally, app services also you need to secure, right? You need to secure or not? Of course, we want to secure the app services also. So how exactly we need to do that? That one also we will see. So for now, I'm not taking any subnet for this one. But one more subnet usually we will take as an additional. You remember that one? One additional subnet usually we will take always as a backup. Okay. Keep that point also in your mind. For now, DB subnet and the VM subnet are on. Those two subnets only currently I switched on. If required, I will create one more app subnets in between, team. So that is what my goal. For now, okay, team. Now, just continue as part of your flow. So I believe during the provisioning of the component, a little change here, team. Sorry for this. I think we missed out. Okay. So VNet provisioning, that is the importance of this particular use case also. Okay, that one is all along with the DB. We can cover these things also. VNet and subnet provisioning. That's perfectly all right. So then I think then followed by VM provisioning also we needed, which is a jump host. Correct or? Correct or not, team? Why we are provisioning the
Yes.
virtual machine? We need a jump host, okay? See, all are private only. See, ultimately, no one can enter into your application apart from the front door entry. That is what we are going to make, Naga. Okay, don't worry on that. No one can connect to any component. Okay, ultimately, security is also our concern, team. Okay, we will consider no one can directly hit your app service directly from outside. No one can directly hit your database from outside. We will safeguard this one also. You got it, Naga? Is that your question?
Yes, got it.
Okay, all right. So fine, team. So especially, I think when you go here, I think this is not a internet it's an internet connection. Okay, Microsoft Backbone Network. It's not through VNet. Okay, it's not through VNet because FD is sitting outside, right? That's why, team. Okay, FD is a public component. Usually it sits outside. Okay, so that's why we should not bring this particular connection to inside the virtual network. But app service agree. Even database also agree. Okay, I'll take one more connection for the database logs. You need database logs also, right? Of course, we need database logs also. We should be able to see who is accessing our database and what are the servers and is there any unauthenticated person is accessing your database also. So you can check those things also, Tim. Okay, let me give the connection properly so that things will be very clear for you. Okay. Okay. Just a second. Just a second. Yes, perfect. Increasing the size. That's good. I'm just keeping this one on top so that you will not be confused. Clear? Okay, fine, team. So these are all the logs. 3 logs are going to the LAW, and this is exactly the case which you are trying to implement. And the connections are very secure. Remember the point. The connections needs to be very secure, team. So what are the connections you are making? Those connections should be very secure. That is why for secured connections, I'm just giving a different color for you. So that's the color exactly I'm just taking up. That's exactly we need to maintain this particular connections are very strong. Okay. Alright, team. So that's perfectly alright. I think so far we are good. And finally, this is the front door one. The front door one is the entry point. So this is the thing exactly we need to implement. Perfect. So now just scroll down. So let's write down the steps. Okay, what are the things are really needed? Scroll down. So front door, the standard and premium discussion. I'll give you a chance here. Just wait. Front door and standard premium discussions. With this, I think you cleared all your component provisioning, team. Okay, that's perfectly alright. Any other thing still we missed out? Yes, we missed out LAW. So you need to provision LAW also, right? Correct? We need to provision LAW provisioning. LAW provisioning, and obviously for alerting and monitoring, usually you need to create an action group. Correct? Create an action group. Correct, team? That's all exactly you need to create. I don't think so. Rest all should be fine. Okay. All right, team. Once you're done with this particular part, now I'm interested to go for DevOps area. Okay, this is a portal provisioning. Now I'm just going for DevOps area. Okay, what exactly we need to create in DevOps? Okay, we will see that one also, team. Now under the DevOps, tell me, team. So as usual, team. Okay, as usual. Okay, check in the code to repo. That's the first thing. Build pipeline setup. Make sure agent is ready with installations, right? Agent is ready with installations. Setting up the release pipeline. Provisioning the service connections. Correct, team? The service connections. Tell me, team, what else are really required for us? Provisioning the service connection. Anything is still missing? Just think about your use case. Okay, by using this one, you can deploy over there. That's all. Any other things are still missing? To be frank, I think that's all majorly from here. But the point internally will happen some VNet peering, and especially maybe some cases VNet peering, some cases private endpoint is also required. Okay, we will see that cases also. Okay, but I'm just keeping those things as optional. Okay, Okay, if it is mandatory, we'll provision. If not required, we'll leave it. Okay, later we can see another problem. Okay, VNet peering VNet peering, and private endpoint connection. Okay, private endpoint connection. This is very important. Private endpoint connection. Private DNS entry. VNet links. Okay. All right, then let's see this case really needed or not. The optional part, whatever I highlighted. If it is needed, I'll pull. Otherwise, we will deal this one in the next project. Okay, don't worry on this. Okay, so fine, team. So far good. So far good. So far, firstly, just tell me one thing, team. You understand the context or not? That is the first thing which we need to clear. You understand the context of this project or not? We understand the concept. Let me reduce the size a bit. Otherwise, let me close this right side one. And I'm just keeping 100 for some time, team. Okay. Now tell me, team. You understand the context or not? Are you missing anything? If you have any questions, now you can raise your questions, team. You can raise your questions. Now we'll sort out one by one. Yeah.
Why you put log analytics workspace outside VNet?
Because log analytics workspace is the one which holds only logs, Naga. Okay. To be frank, until and unless you are logging some sensitive information to this particular log analytics workspace, you no need to secure it, Naga. Okay. So Naga, you can keep LAW inside. To be frank, you no need to keep logs in a secured place because those are logs, not really needed, because that is not a business impacting area. If you think your customer is really demanding, your logs also needs to be very secure, then you can bring LAW inside the virtual network also, Naga. Okay, but we need to see whether Azure has a capability the VNet integrations or VNet networking things enabled on the LAW or not. I'm not sure. We need to see that. You got it, Naga?
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, team. Anyone have any other question? Anyone have any other question? So hardly we will take from here to exactly 3 sessions, 2 to 3 sessions to clear this project. It will not take more than that because you are already an experienced, especially in handling a simple project. Okay, this project is a little bit extra, which I added a database and the networking. 2 areas I added for this project. Okay, so that's why maybe a little bit you will struggle if you do it on your own. But I'm showing you so that it will be cakewalk for you. Don't worry on that. That the learning points are networking and place database. 2 areas will be covered in this particular area. Okay, so that you will be very good. And the next you go to when the containerized projects will be very easy for you. Thank you for the session. See you in the next part.